Hello, beloved child of God. I'm glad you're here. Tonight, let us sit together in the soft hush of this hour, where the noise of the day lowers its voice and the heart can finally breathe. You don't have to hold everything up anymore. You can set it down. You are safe here. Listen to these ancient words that have carried weary souls across countless nights. Be still and know that I am God. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. When you pass through deep waters, I will be with you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. Let these promises move through you like a gentle wind through an open window. They are for you tonight. Yes, you. The one whose hands tremble when the room is quiet and every worry tries to speak at once. You. The one who did your best and still feel it wasn't enough. You. The one who has smiled for others and gone home to cry. God has not turned his face away. He has not lost your name. He has not misplaced your story on a crowded shelf. He is here, right where you are, as near as your next breath. I know this day has taken pieces of your strength. Perhaps there were frayed conversations, or silent rooms, or news that shook you. Perhaps a door you were certain would open stayed shut, and you felt the hallway grow longer, emptier. It can feel like the world tilts suddenly. The plans you stacked carefully sliding to the floor, paper and hope scattering everywhere. When everything seems to fall apart, it's hard not to wonder if you're falling apart too. But listen, you are being held. You are being kept. Even in the tumble, there is a hand beneath you, sure and steady. Let's breathe together. In through the nose like you are sipping the night air. Slow, gentle. Hold for a moment. Then release the breath like a soft prayer you place into God's hands. Again. Breathe in the assurance that you are seen. Breathe out the weight you were never meant to carry alone. Breathe in mercy. Breathe out shame. Breathe in the quiet. Breathe out the ache. With every breath, picture a small lantern in your chest, the flame growing steadier, warmer. You are not alone in this darkness. The flame is not your own power, but the nearness of God, lighting you from within. Good evening, dear soul. If these words wrap around you like a blanket and help your heart find calm, I would be honored to keep you company on more nights like this. If this message brings you comfort, consider remaining close, lingering with us, coming back when the night feels heavy, subscribing so this small lamp of peace finds you again when you need it most. There is a circle of quiet here. A place where your tired heart can rest and be gently reminded you are loved without condition and without end. Now, if you are able, let your shoulders drop an inch. Let the jaw unclench. Loosen your hands. Imagine God kneeling beside you, eyes kind, hand on your shoulder. Not asking you to be more than you are, not measuring your worth by your outcome. He says, I am here. I am for you. I am not leaving. And as you lie down, let's picture a field at dusk. The sky wears its softest colors. A thin ribbon of river moves quietly, and a small path leads to a grove of trees, leaves touching like friends at prayer. The air is cool, the light is tender, and a hush rests over everything. You walk this path with the one who knows your story. He doesn't rush you. He matches your pace. You can feel the steadiness of his presence. Something within you, something tight and anxious, begins to loosen. You are guided, even now, even here. Before we turn to tonight's story, a little parable for hearts that are tired. Let the last shadows of the day grow long and harmless. Let them slide away. Hear the promise again, friend. You are not the sum of what broke today. You are not defined by what fell apart. You are held by a love that does not break, a presence that does not fall apart. And just as night carries the promise of morning, your soul is being led, gently and surely, toward peace. Before we continue, a gentle summary to carry forward. We began in stillness, gathering a handful of promises that never expire. We acknowledged your weariness and breathed in a softer air, the comfort of being seen and held. We imagined a quiet field and a steady hand beside you. If this brought you calm, stay close. Let the light in your chest steady. Now, we will hear a story about a soul like yours, a night like this, and a love that does not let go. There was a woman named Mara who lived on the edge of a small town where streets met fields, and the wind knew everyone by name. Her home was simple: a narrow porch, a pale door, a window where she kept a cup with a sprig of rosemary. She liked the early morning, when the world seemed to whisper kindness, and the late evening, when the sky collected its soft blues. For a long time, life had been steady. A job at the baker's, neighbors who traded small gifts of bread and laughter, a church with a bell that sounded like hope. Mara desired what many hearts desire: to live loved and useful, to sleep without fear, to wake with purpose. She longed for a peace that lasted more than a few hours, for a trust that would not crack under the smallest pressure. When she prayed at night, it was with a simple honesty. God, help me be okay. Help me feel safe. Help me know that I'm not a mistake you're trying to fix, but a child you delight to keep. Then, as happens in the lives of the honest and the kind, the wind changed. The bakery closed. The bell at church broke. A friend stopped returning her messages. Even the rosemary in the cup withered, its green turning to a tired gray. Mara's carefully stacked days fell over like books pushed from a shelf. She kept saying, "It will be fine." But the word "fine" felt brittle in her mouth. She tried to pray, but her prayers laid on the floor like coats no one picked up. There were long afternoons of quiet house, quiet window, quiet ache. Nights when the ceiling seemed too close, pressing down, asking questions she couldn't answer. She read words of comfort, but they slipped past her, light as feathers, refusing to land. She walked the path along the fields and tried to listen for God. But the wind that once felt like a companion now felt like an unanswered call. She wondered if God had stepped into another room and forgotten to return. She wondered if maybe she had slipped from his mind. One evening, after the daylight had folded itself like a worn blanket and the first star stitched itself into the sky, Mara wandered to the old church with the broken bell. The door was unlocked. Inside, the air carried the faint scent of wood and wax. The silence was deep, but not harsh. It was like a lake that held its breath. She sat in the last pew, hands empty, heart even emptier, and whispered what hardly sounded like a prayer. "I don't know how to keep going if you're not here." There was no thunder, no sudden glow. But in the hush, a memory rose, no louder than a thought, of a verse she had learned as a child. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Not if, but when. And not I might, but I will. The words were not forceful, not demanding. They slipped into the room and sat beside her like a friend arriving late but apologetic, hand warm, presence real. As she sat there, an old woman from town, Ruth, came in to straighten hymnals and sweep the aisle. She saw Mara and paused. Without commentary, without asking for the story, Ruth moved to the pew and sat down. She placed a small, wrapped packet in Mara's hand. Inside was a slice of bread, the kind Mara used to make at the bakery, with rosemary baked into the crust. I thought you might like a taste of yesterday, Ruth said softly. Sometimes yesterday reminds us that goodness didn't vanish. It just changed rooms. Mara held the bread and the tears came. Not crashing tears, more like rain that has finally found the ground it was seeking. Ruth stayed. No solving, no fixing, just presence. You haven't fallen out of God's hands, Ruth murmured. He doesn't misplace his children. Later, walking home with the packet pressed to her heart, Mara noticed the wind again, still moving over the fields. It hadn't stopped when her job stopped. It hadn't gone silent when her friend did. It carried a coolness that was not indifference, but reminder. At her porch, she looked at the little cup on the windowsill. The rosemary was limp, but beneath the gray, she saw a thread of green she had missed in her worry. She clipped it gently and placed it in fresh water. That night, Mara lit a candle and broke the bread. She ate it slowly, and with each bite she whispered, I am not alone. She did not suddenly feel strong, but she felt held. She did not suddenly know the next 5 steps, but one step showed itself. Rest. Sleep became prayer. Breath became permission. She lay down and placed her hand over her heart, feeling its steady rhythm like a knock on God's door from the inside. And she sensed the smallest answer. I'm here. The days after that did not hurry. They unfolded like pages turned by a careful hand. Mara began to rise and make a simple tea, to step outside and greet the morning like an old friend. She wrote 1 sentence each day in a little book. Today, I noticed mercy. Some days the sentence was about a bird that sang as if it trusted the air. Some days it was about a child's laughter, or a neighbor's wave, or the way the sky wore silver like a gentle crown before rain. Some days it was the courage to cry and not apologize. Work returned in a different form. The woman from the new cafe needed help with baking. It wasn't the same as before, but it was honest and kind. The church bell was repaired months later. When it rang, Mara smiled without needing to explain why. She did not come to faith by solving a puzzle. She came to peace by being found in her unfixing. And when she prayed now, it often sounded like this: thank you for staying. Before we continue, a gentle summary to hold close. We met Mara, who longed for simple peace and felt everything slide from her hands. Work, friendship, even the small sprig of rosemary. In the quiet of the old church, a remembered promise and the kindness of Ruth arrived like light through a crack. No grand miracle, only presence. Bread shared, tears welcomed, a candle lit, a thread of green returning. Mara discovered that peace does not always roar. Sometimes it sits with us, steady and near, until our breathing matches its rhythm. As you rest now, let's gather what Mara learned and place it gently in your own hands. When everything seems to fall apart, you are not a failure. You are a beloved being in a tender process. Things that break are not evidence of God's absence, but places where His nearness can reach you without the armor of your strength. You don't need to make your pain impressive for God to take it seriously. You don't have to explain why your heart hurts. He knows. He's not impatient with your slow healing. If you feel like your prayers lay on the floor like coats no one is picking up, picture God kneeling to lift them one by one and wrapping them around you, saying, "This one is warmth. This one is protection. This one is comfort." If your mind is crowded with what-ifs and if-onlys, imagine them like birds startled into flight. They rise, they circle, and then they find a branch and become still. You are not your what-ifs. You are not your if-onlys. You are someone worth staying with through every storm and every quiet. Let your body rest as I speak a blessing over your night. May the weight on your chest grow lighter, as if gentle hands are unbuttoning the pressure, loosening the knots of fear. May your thoughts find the shore and lie down like waves after the tide. May every dark corner of memory be visited by a small lamp of mercy. May the rooms of your heart feel aired and clean, curtains lifted, windows open to the softest wind. May the voice that spoke light into the first darkness, speak peace into yours. Remember how Mara kept a little book and wrote only one sentence. Today, I noticed mercy. Perhaps, in your heart, you can choose the first line now. Today, I noticed that even while I was afraid, I was not alone. Tonight, I noticed a quiet kindness visiting me like dawn. Tomorrow, you might notice a bird, a laugh, the way tea carries warmth through your hands. Small mercies do not announce themselves with trumpets. They arrive like dew, and the ground drinks them in without a sound. Your soul is the field. God is the rain. You do not have to control the growing. Take another deep, gentle breath. Imagine you are lying in a meadow of trust. The sky is a soft blue bowl above you. The earth is firm beneath you. The air smells like rain far away and clean grass close by. God is at your side. He is not looking at a list. He is looking at you, the way love looks at the one it loves. Without blinking, without boredom, without a single thought of leaving. He speaks in the language your heart understands, slow and tender. You are mine. I am here. You are safe. If grief is with you, it is not a sign you have failed. It is a sign you have loved. God is not embarrassed by your tears. He bottles them like precious oil and says, "Nothing here will be wasted." If your heart is ashamed, He is not. He invites you to lay the shame down like a heavy satchel on the ground. If your hope is tired, He will not scold it. He will let hope fall asleep on His shoulder until it can wake again, soft and new in the morning. Let's pray together now, as simply as a child speaks to a father. You can repeat these words in your heart if you wish. God of tender mercies, thank you for being near when I feel broken apart. Thank you for seeing the places the world can't see. The quiet aches, the tired thoughts, the false stories I tell myself when I'm scared. I give you every piece tonight. The ones I am proud of, the ones I want to hide, the ones I don't understand. Hold them all in your gentle hands. Teach me to rest. Teach my mind to sit by still waters. Gather my scattered thoughts like sheep in a safe field and let your voice be the shepherd of my night. Where I have believed I am unworthy, whisper a better truth. I am loved beyond earning. Where I have felt forgotten, remind me again. I am remembered by name. Where I have seen only endings, show me the sunrise you are already preparing. I ask you to bless this room and everything in it. Let your peace be like a soft lamp in the corner, never flickering out. Let your angels keep watch, quiet and kind. Let sleep come without struggle, like a friend who knows the way in the dark. Shelter my dreams in your goodness. And if I wake in the night, let me find you near, closer than breath, steady as the stars. Bless the ones I love. Hold the ones who have hurt me. Heal what is within my reach to heal and carry what is not. Help me forgive as I am forgiven. Teach me to trust the path I cannot see. Give me the courage to take the next small step and the wisdom to be still when stillness is holy. Make me a little more gentle tomorrow with myself and with the world. Thank you for staying. Thank you for not letting go. Thank you that even when everything seems to fall apart, your love holds all things together. I place this night in your care, this body in your kindness, this heart in your unfailing hands. Amen. Now, friend, let go. Let the dark be a soft and harmless night, not an enemy. Let your breath be your prayer, your rest be your worship. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where love can find you. Before you drift to sleep, let me say what is most true. You are more cherished than you know. You are not a problem to solve, but a person to love. You are not the storm. You are the one being carried safely through it. Tomorrow's light is already on its way. For now, this is enough. You are held. Before we close, a gentle summary to settle the heart. We drew the story into your own night, remembering that God does not vanish when things fall apart. He draws closer, mending from the inside out. We prayed for rest, for a mind like still waters, for a heart wrapped in mercy. We released shame and fear, blessed the room, and entrusted the ones we love to His care. Peace is not earned, it is received, and tonight it is given to you. Good night, beloved child of God. You are safe, you are loved, you are His, fully and forever. Rest now in His peace.